Okay, let's do some good work and have a look at three of the very important facets of swinging the golf club in the Ready, Set, Go process. In this case, we're going to be having a good look at our grip as it relates to strong, neutral, and weak and how that affects the club face, then the angle set, and then our release action, which is so vitally important to our golf swing. Okay, in terms of taking our grip position, if we start from a neutral position, which would be a case where both of our hands are basically facing one another and the right palm is facing the target, that would be considered a neutral grip position. If we go from a neutral grip position, let's say, and with the release board, by the way, the release board gives us some very good feedback in terms of the actual position of the club face relative to our grip. So going from a neutral position, which this would be, in which case we've got our hands set on the club in a fairly neutral position with the club face square to the target. If we go from a neutral position to a stronger grip position, what we're talking about here when we put our hands on the club in a stronger grip position, we're setting our hands on the grip of the club rotated in a clockwise direction, or the right hand gets up underneath the grip of the club and the left hand gets a little more on top of the grip of the club so that we see more of the knuckles of our left hand. Oftentimes you'll hear it referred to as the V's. The V's in this case are both pointing a little more to the right or toward our right shoulder. This again is referred to as a stronger grip position. When we do go with a stronger grip position, what that's ultimately going to do as we make our release action through impact, in other words, as we begin to rotate our arms through that 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock impact zone, what we'll be doing is squaring our hands back into that neutral position relative to the target. But what that does, as you can see with the release board, is it shuts the face down. So a stronger grip equates to closing the club face, which equates to lower shots that are hit left of our target. That's a stronger grip, and how a stronger grip is going to affect the club face position. Okay, now if we go in the reverse of that, let's say we begin to explore what a weaker grip position is. What we're doing when we grip the club in a weaker position is we're rotating or setting our hands on the grip of the club in a more counterclockwise position, in which case our hands are, as you can see here, they're rotated more to the left or in a counterclockwise position. And again here, as we make our swing, we will have the tendency to always square our hands up anatomically, square our hands up with the target line, in which case when we go back to a neutral position at impact with a weaker grip, you can see from the feedback that the release board has given us that the club face is opened up or looking right of the target. So stronger grips equate to closed club faces that look left. Weaker grips equate to open club faces that look right. Okay, so continuing, as we make our grip, the typical procedure is going to be to set the handle of the club into our lead hand. For a right-handed golfer, be our left hand, and we'll hook the butt end of the club, the end of the grip, underneath the little pad on our left hand, and then allow the grip to set down across the base of our fingers in such a way that we get that left hand set on the club in that manner. And then when we apply our right hand, you can see how what is a good thing to think about is have the middle two fingers of your right hand just wrap around the grip in such a way that those middle two fingers just match up with that left thumb on the grip of the shaft. And again, we'll feel that grip setting down in the fingers of our right hand. That's where we want to feel that club, and when it's in our right hand, it's down more in the fingers, whereas in the left hand it'll be a little more through the palm. And then we'll wrap the rest of our right hand right around the grip in such a way that the hands are nicely tucked together, meshed together on the grip in such a way that there's really no gaps anywhere. Both hands are working as one on our golf club. Okay, so once we get our grip position established during the Ready, Set, Go process, then what we'll begin to feel is actually the set of the angle. in the swing. And again, the angle is our primary source of power in the swing, so we want to feel the set of the angle both in the left arm as well as in the right wrist, right in that area. So as we begin to make our backswing movement, we'll just feel the set of that angle back at the 9 o'clock position in the swing. We can also at this point even begin to sense a little bit of body pivot, a little bit of pivot into that right hip. And then what we'll do is we'll begin making swings through, bringing that angle down into that 9 to 3 impact zone. And now we'll begin to feel and sense some arm rotation as we swing the club through that 9 to 3 impact zone, bringing the club back from a set position. Sense what square is right through this area where the ball is. You can see how the board is actually loading a little bit, even though I'm making small swings. But I'm feeling and sensing that arm rotation back over to the 3 o'clock position. So again, as we go ahead and establish our grip, set the angle back up around the 9 o'clock position, swing that angle through the 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock impact zone while feeling some arm rotation, as well as maybe a little pivot into that left hip on the through swing. Not a bad idea to do. So again, as we look at the process of swinging that club from the 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock impact zone, and when we do it with the release board, we'll actually be getting some feedback from the weight in the release board as we swing it. Good. Ready position, set position, go. Yeah. Okay. Look at that a couple of more times. Repeating this action, as we say in the R3 approach, thousands of times is what's required to actually get it to the point where it's completely fluid. In other words, we're not thinking about it, we're just doing it. Set, go. Ready, set, go. Okay? Alrighty, so another great drill to use with the release board in terms of feeling what's very important in terms of our grip, and then setting the angle with our arms and wrists, and then releasing the angle through that very important 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock impact zone down there where the golf ball is. Okay, let's continue doing good work.